Most people have someone who only reaches out when things go wrong. They don't text to check in or celebrate your wins, but the exact second they have a crisis, a breakup, or a bad day at work, your phone lights up. They expect you to sit for hours while they offload their anxiety and complaints into your mind. This creates an uneven exchange. They leave feeling refreshed and lighter, while you are left carrying their mental weight, feeling exhausted and anxious. When you allow this to happen, you signal that your time and peace have zero value. To stop this, you need to implement a strategic defense called the Emotional Embargo. This tutorial provides a step-by-step protocol to stop the draining behavior in under 2 minutes. It is designed to work without you ever having to raise your voice or start a conflict. By applying this specific boundary, you transition from being an available target for emotional dumping to having full control over your own mental headspace. The protocol begins the moment the other person starts their unprompted complaint session. Step 1 is withholding validation. You must immediately stop providing the conversational rewards they seek. Do not ask follow-up questions and do not offer active concern. This graphic shows the shift in your engagement. By leaning back and remaining silent, you remove the cues that encourage them to keep going. You may notice them start to stumble or talk faster as they realize the usual feedback loop has been broken. Exactly at the 1-minute mark, you will interrupt them, even if they are in the middle of a sentence. Your vocal delivery is critical. You want to avoid the high-frequency spikes of anger. Instead, aim for these steady waves. Keep your pitch low and your volume consistent. Look them in the eyes and say, "I can see you are going through a lot right now." Follow up with, "But I do not have the mental bandwidth to take this on today." Initiate the mandatory pivot. "I am going to need us to talk about something else." This creates a pattern interruption. Because they rely on your polite compliance to fuel their venting, this sudden, calm refusal to participate disrupts their momentum. You will often see them pause or look momentarily confused as their brain tries to process the lack of a receptive target. For this to work, you cannot offer an apology or raise your voice. Apologizing suggests you are doing something wrong, which gives them an opening to guilt trip you. A neutral delivery is your best defense. If you aren't being mean or aggressive, they have no factual basis to accuse you of being heartless or to play the victim. Step 4 is the pivot or exit. Once you have delivered the script, do not wait for them to agree or respond to your boundary. If you are in person, immediately start talking about a neutral, unrelated topic. If you are on the phone, tell them you have to go and end the call. The most important part of this step is avoiding the lingering period. If you stay in a silent, awkward moment, you essentially invite them to push back or steer the conversation back to their drama. Taking this unilateral action immediately terminates the current dumping session and signals that your headspace is no longer a public dumping ground. The emotional embargo is now set. You have successfully established a hard boundary without ever having to start a fight. Over time, this consistency shifts the relationship dynamic. While some people may initially try to escalate or test your limit, they will eventually reach a crossroads. They will either begin to respect your time, or they will move on to find a more compliant listener. The core takeaway is a shift in how you view your own mind. As this graphic shows, you are moving away from being an open container for other people's waste and toward becoming a protected space that you control. A high-value approach to social life requires protecting your peace. You should not be expected to carry the emotional weight of those who are unwilling to support you in return. Memorize the script and practice your delivery today so it becomes a natural reflex. Subscribe to level up your understanding of social psychology.